Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host Dr. Amber Q and it's story time again today. I feel like I've done a story time previously, so that's why I'm saying it's story time again today. I'm just looking at something in the studio and I'm not quite sure what's happening. But anyway, let's just move on. So, one of my friends from the US of A is over visiting at the moment, and we decided to do a little bit of a kind of touring holiday. So that's what we have been doing, and it's been really good fun. We've been joined at various points by various friends. And I'd like to relay something which I think was so interesting. So we were at a particular station. And of course, there are many people that you see in various areas. This was a smaller station. But there were lots of people around. It was out of London, lots of people around. And there were glamorous women, smart men, not so smart women, not so smart men. So a huge multitude of people. There was a guy who was in his socks and he was carrying his shoes and he had a suitcase. And I was thinking, that's really interesting. Why does he think that he needs to take his shoes off? But I thought maybe there's a reason. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe he's being polite. I have no idea. But there was a very glamorous girl who had the most amazing eyelashes. And there were elderly people, there were younger people. So there was a vast array, a real mixture of people. As it wasn't a huge station, there was a restroom. And sort of in the corner of, I guess, the waiting area. Well, not the corner of the waiting area, but I guess on the concourse, essentially. And it was really interesting because people were coming and people were going. And it was just one of those bathrooms that was unisex. It was just a bathroom. So anyone could use it. And it was quite a wide bathroom, so it was accessible for people who may have been, in a wheelchair or something. So it was really interesting because there was someone, I didn't notice who had gone into the bathroom. There was someone in the bathroom and this person I'm not sure what was happening because suddenly there were so many loud bangs and as if somebody was ripping things off the wall. And everyone started to look at each other. And, there were many characters here. There were people who were kind of quite talkative. There were people that were really loud, slightly inebriated, if I may say. And then, of course, there were just... I don't know, there were loads of people, just loud people without being inebriated, and then quieter people. It was just, as I said, a whole multitude of people. And it was interesting because we were all looking at each other thinking, what's happening in the bathroom? And then there was a cleaner going by, and because they have, obviously, the clear plastic kind of litter bags for safety. And somebody sort of mentioned that, I don't know if someone's okay in there because there's a lot of banging. But at this point, of course, as always is the way, there was no banging, no noise at all. And then a little while later, there was loud banging again. And I think a member of staff came down and sort of was kind of knocking on the door saying, "Are you okay?" And a male voice answered and said he was okay. So that was fine. Some of us, I think, thought, had we imagined hearing that noise? And some of us thought, I don't know, maybe he was trying to get tissue. I'm not sure. I know I'm making excuses, but maybe there was like a baby changing area or something, and maybe that had flapped open, So I think various people were just thinking various things. And then, then basically, a few minutes later, the member of staff had walked away. The banging and crashing started again, and it was extra loud this time, to the point people were sort of further away were like, oh my gosh, what was that noise? And then I think the member of staff came back a couple of minutes later, because obviously this person was still in the bathroom. And no, at this point, actually, I think the flush had been pulled, and so a few minutes, like maybe a minute after that, a member of staff came across again to knock on the door. Several people were saying, oh, I think he's about to come out because, we heard the sound of the flush. Anyway, the door opened and out walked this small, very sort of quiet looking chap who had earlier been barefoot. I didn't actually notice his shoes at this point, and who had his bags. So obviously, again, just thought, somebody just come from flight, going to meet a friend or going to his hotel. But this person was, he just looked really quiet. And it was really bizarre because he just sauntered out as if, he'd been in there for a minute or two. But of course, he'd been in there for I think 15 minutes. And heaven knows what the bang crashing was, because the member of staff looked in the bathroom and obviously didn't find anything untoward. He just kind of looked in there and then kind of just shut the door and carried on, going back to his duties. And so I don't know what happened. And obviously I wasn't going to ask the chap, who just looked really quiet. So it was so weird that somebody so quiet made such loud kind of banging noises in the bathroom. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, you just never know. And I think that's the moral of the story. You just never know. And so I think the thing is that, what is the evidence of truth? I think that's what we've always got to look at, because people can appear to sort of, be one thing and they can be another. And I think we can see that at the moment, can't we, with everything that is happening in the world. And I just wanted to share that because I found it so, I suppose, being there and experiencing it and seeing this sort of very nondescript person coming out, looked very slight. I just thought, what was happening in that bathroom? And I'm not sure what was going on, but I just thought, wow, there were so many people that were inebriated and much louder on the concourse, and I thought, or on the platform, and to be honest, I thought it would have been one of those people, not this person who just seemed so quiet. And I think really the moral of the story is that appearances can be deceiving. Mainstream media can be deceiving. Politicians can be deceiving. And so I think certainly in the UK we've got election time coming up. To the party seem to be absolute rubbish. And I think it's the Workers' Party for me, quite frankly. And but it's so lovely having my American friend over. She's just amazing. She's an ex-cheerleader. So she's just super chirpy, super fit, and it's just great. It's just great having her around. So she's actually touring another part of the country, and I'll see her at the end of the week, and I'm really excited about that. It's wonderful, isn't it? Friendships are just wonderful. And maybe I'll tell you a story about friendships next week. I'm not sure. But until the next episode, let's create connection and not just change lives, but save lives.